That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 22, World Champion. And we're covering March of 1998, so that is Wrestlemania 14. And based on the title, you know our boy. We've been waiting for it. It's been 22 long episodes, 2 years plus, and Austin is going to win that World Championship. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, how you doing today?
Hey, man, excited for this episode. Doing well. This is it, though. This is when he gets the gold.
Yeah, he gets the gold, and from this point on, he's going to be champion for a little bit.
Yep.
You know, things are just turning around here. So we've had the whole build-up of the Austin Stone Cold character. Now he's finally getting that shot. So it's awesome to get to this point. So we'll be covering the 2 Raws leading up to WrestleMania 14. And then we'll go into WrestleMania 14 and break down that match. A Heartbreak Kid. So, before we get into it, though, I do want to point out, you know, because a lot of times in, like, our opening discussions or sometimes throughout our episode, we'll kind of shit on the current product. I just want to point out that last night, Elimination Chamber was a heck of a pay-per-view, in my opinion. JV, you checked it out, right? Some of it?
Yeah, I actually checked out the last match, and that was it. The actual Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, and I might be forgetting someone. But the actual Elimination Chamber match.
AJ Styles,
that was it.
Yep. So yeah, heck of a match. The women's match was great. I even thought, you know, the mid card matches were pretty solid, and just thought it was a good pay-per-view. And my thinking was, I haven't been really watching Raw much because we record on Mondays, usually.
Yep.
And I don't really get to check it out, and I haven't been bothering to go back and watch much of it because nothing has been popping off as being like, oh, I got to check it out. So I was just like, screw it. And I think because I haven't been watching it, that I watched the whole pay-per-view from start to finish, that I actually enjoyed it more because I wasn't sick of what has been going on. So I think the thing I want to do going forward with WWE and the current product is I'm just going to watch the This Week in WWE on the network. It kind of breaks down what happened this past week on Raw and SmackDown. It's only a half hour long. I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to watch pay-per-views. And that's it. And I'm going to enjoy it, I think, doing that. Because it's kind of like the old school way, where you just had Superstars or a Wrestling Challenge. So you had at most 2 hours of wrestling a week, sometimes for months between pay-per-views.
But let's hope USA and Fox aren't hearing this episode and us saying that, because that looks very bad for their TV deals. And people are just like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. We're just not going to watch television. We'll watch the highlights on the network, and then we'll watch the actual pay-per-view on the network.
Well, let the kids that have all the free time watch everything. But for me, I don't think I have the time anymore to just watch it all. So
fuck no, 3 hours is too long, and it's not good enough for 3 hours. It's just not. They don't put on a good 3 hour show where, with all the variety and the internet, and I got a smartphone in my hand, it's tough to just focus 3 hours.
Yeah, well, even still,
staring at television. If
there's good stuff going on, it gets mixed in with 3 hours of shit, so you forget that it was even good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if it's an hour, it pops out, it stands out. Like if you watch NXT for an hour long, it's like, oh, that was a good show because it was only an hour of shit and you remember it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't want to talk too much about current product, but I do want to give props to the WWE for putting on a good show. And maybe, again, it was just my not having watching it for a while is what made it good. So,
like, I haven't been watching it, and just watching that last match, we've been invested in Kofi's career for a while because, where we watch religiously, at least for a time I was watching pretty religiously. So I haven't been over the past, like, probably year, 12 to 18 months. I've really just kind of like tuned out for the most part. I watch WrestleMania, some of the other big pay-per-views that come up that I enjoy. Once in a while I'll tune in. So, but I had no idea that Kofi was actually involved in like a semi-angle with Daniel Bryan. So to see that kind of culminate and then them being the last two at the end of the match was just crazy, because I've watched Kofi grow. And we've always kind of thought like, when does Kofi get his chance? He's been a WWE guy for so long,
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
Yeah, like he's put his time in. He's he's well liked by fans. He's got to be well liked by management when you're there that long. He's always in, near the top of the card, but never really at the tippity top of the card. For the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE title, whatever they're calling it now. So watching that match and seeing him kind of, earn his stripes with Daniel Bryan, one of the best workers in the business, it was a little emotional. Like, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
It felt good to kind of see. It was like, I actually thought for a second he had a chance. And,
That's what. Yep. My same sentiment. I was thinking, wow, they might do it. They might put it on him.
Yeah.
Even if it's for a month. Would have been cool.
But that's and it's fresh. Even though Kofi's not a fresh character, he's been around for so long, and put his time in and busted his ass. It's like, all right, it's like, wow, like he's finally like earning it. So I kind of not that he hadn't already earned it, but they're kind of like give him a reward finally.
Right.
And I hope that reward goes a little bit further, because I think they have something there, and I think you kind of gotta stick with what's hot.
Yeah, especially
what the plan is at WrestleMania, but they got to definitely consider a singles match between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston for the belt.
Yeah, especially with the crowd's reaction. They can't just ignore it. No. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks. They're leading up to Fastlane coming up, and prior to recording, I had mentioned to you that maybe Mustafa Ali is going to come back. He kind of cut a promo where he wants his chance to get a title shot again. So maybe they'll have a contenders match, Kofi versus Mustafa Ali. Since Daniel Bryan's not really involved in any storyline right now, because it's looking like Randy Orton and AJ Styles are heading to Mania.
So, they're going to come head on.
So we'll see. Well, let's move along and go back in time here.
We owed it to them, considering how much we bashed their current
exactly.
product. And because it was Kofi, there's your time on our podcast, Kofi. It's how much we appreciate it.
They got me kind of intrigued at this point right now. Yeah. Although they'll probably fuck it up. Fuck it up in my view. Not that they fuck it up. It's just what I don't want.
Yeah, he's going to lose to Lord knows who.
Yeah,
they're going to lose to Eric Rowan.
They're going to squash him tonight on Raw.
Eric Rowan's just going to pin him clean.
All right, so last week we covered the hostage situation. We covered much of February into March in the Raws, and didn't lead up to a pay-per-view because the time between Royal Rumble and the February pay-per-view was just long. It was just like 6 weeks, so we weren't going to cover that in one episode. And I thought last week was like, we only got to do 4 Raws. Ended up being our longest episode yet. So this week we have 2 Raws plus WrestleMania, and hopefully it's shorter. So let's get going here and let's get it started. So we're going now to Raw 251, which is actually on a Tuesday, special edition. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's March 17th, 1998. This is happening in Phoenix, Arizona. They recorded it on a Monday, but they had to delay and put it on a Tuesday. So the show opens up. Basically starts off with a video package. Not right at the start, but at the beginning of the show, they start off with a video package of HBK and kind of giving him a career retrospective. I thought that was notable just to bring up because we're leading into WrestleMania, so they want to kind of give you some background on Shawn Michaels, HBK, and what he's gone through up to this point. Yeah.
Which again is appealing to the new audience members that are only starting to tune into the product because of all the Mike Tyson coverage. So, if they're watching the Raws leading up to the WrestleMania, if they're actually that invested, this video kind of accomplishes that job of outlining who HBK is, who he's grown to be over his career.
Excellent point. So from there, we're now going to get to Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon's going to cut a promo. He's going to come out. He's a little pissed off about last week because last week Austin took hostage of the show. And he was embarrassed by it. He kind of tucked his tail between his legs and walked back up the ramp. Stone Cold kind of punked him out.
That's a great word, embarrassed. Yeah. Embarrassed is the word.
Totally embarrassed. So Vince McMahon comes back out, and he's going to get booed big time, of course, because Austin is the babyface at this point, even though he's more like the asshole. And Vince McMahon is just trying to run a company. And he has this, pain in the ass, basically, causing him issues. But, it's like the anti-hero. There you go. So Vince McMahon comes out. He's getting booed big time. And we're going to let you listen to what he has to say. And then we'll talk about it after that. So take a listen.
Been certainly an unfortunate situation last week between you and Stone Cold Steve Austin right here on Raw.
Very unfortunate and very unprofessional.
I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of different incidents that took place last week. If we could look to the Titantron right now, and we'll see first Stone Cold Steve Austin's questioning you about a reaction to a Mike Tyson comment.
It was just a figure of speech. Baddest man on the planet is a figure of speech.
This is a figure of speech right here. How do you like it?
McMahon had to watch it again. Woo! What were you thinking about when that happened?
I certainly didn't appreciate it. I thought it was highly unprofessional. I don't appreciate sign language, much less sign language in my face. Nonetheless, I can understand giving Austin the benefit of the doubt. What was on his mind? I mean, just a week prior to that, Austin had been stunned. He had been stunned indeed by the mental acumen, if you would, of Shawn Michaels when he shocked Austin and the whole world by bringing Mike Tyson into DX.
The situation, though, did not end there. In fact, Stone Cold continued on his tirade. If we could take a look once again to the Titantron, and once again what happened last week. In this instance, Stone Cold Steve Austin basically daring you to hit him. Please, if we could take a look at that.
Haven't we had enough of the footage?
I'm giving you the first shot, so give me your best shot, because if I hit you first, you're going to be laying on the damn mat in a heap. So give me your best shot. Give me your best shot right there. Now go ahead and hit me. I'm not looking. Blindside me. Show some guts, you yellow bastard. Hit me. Do something.
Why didn't you hit him?
Yeah. What?
Why did you not hit Stone Cold Steve Austin last week?
Because I do what I do from a professional standpoint for WWF fans all over the world. That's why.
Okay, what does that mean? What exactly are you trying to say?
That means that I was simply saving the main event. That's what it means, saving the main event at WrestleMania.
How are you saving the main event at WrestleMania?
How could Stone Cold Steve Austin compete against Shawn Michaels for the WWF title at WrestleMania with a broken jaw?
Whoa!
Well, he ain't going to be Mayor Phoenix anytime soon.
There's one more instance last week that I wanted to show you.
Yeah!
If we can. Roll the tape, the last piece of videotape I selected. If we can, take a look. Stone Cold's last parting words, I guess you could say, for the WWF owner, Vince McMahon.
If you want me to kick him square in his ass, give me a hell yeah. You better get your ass to stepping or it's going to happen. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're damn right. Now get your ass up there.
I'll tell you one thing, Kevin Kelly may be unemployed soon.
Out of your own ring. How did that make you feel?
How did it make me feel?
I've seen that look. Yeah.
Again, I do what I do for all of the WWF fans all over the world. And it certainly would not have looked good, or who knows what would have happened if I had taken Austin down.
Yeah, that's right.
Vince, there's one other thing that happened last week to which we never got an answer. I want to ask you that question right now. Stone Cold asked you, do you want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin as the WWF champion, yes or no? What's the answer?
I can tell you what the front office will say.
Well, it really doesn't matter what I think.
He is the front
It
office.
matters what all of you, the WWF fans, think.
But Stone Cold Steve Austin and now myself asking you personally, do you want Stone Cold Steve Austin as the World Wrestling Federation champion?
Kevin Kelly's really pushing it.
If Austin would be reasonable and listen to reason and be molded into a respectful WWF champion, that would be one thing. But if Austin becomes WWF champion as we know him now, that would be a public relations corporate nightmare.
Right.
You said all the buzzwords,
Look at those
said
idiots.
everything you wanted to say, but you still haven't answered the question, and the fans all want to know the answer to the question. The fans of the World Wrestling Federation all want to know the truth.
What, like he's been lying up to now?
I'm not so sure that you or the WWF fans, or for that matter, Stone Cold Steve Austin, can handle the truth. Thank you.
Mr. McMahon, you still have not answered the question. Yes or no?
All right? It's not just a no, it's a, oh, hell no!
Man!
I'll tell you what, Austin must be beside himself right now in Victoria, Texas.
Well, you asked for it, you got it.
Hi, Steve. And Austin, that's the bottom line because Vince McMahon said so. Thank you very much.
All right, so the first signs of Vince McMahon becoming Mr. McMahon here, really, other than the Montreal Screwjob and all that, but as in character and written, this is kind of the first time you're seeing it here. So he comes out, like I said, he gets booed big time, and he's talking about last week that it was very unfortunate, it's very unprofessional of Steve Austin, and he didn't appreciate the sign language in his face. So McMahon starts to get very annoyed because Kevin Kelly, who is conducting this interview, keeps going to footage from last week. And every time he's cutting him off, he's cutting Vince McMahon off and saying, oh, let's take a look at last week. Vince McMahon is just like visibly getting pissed off at this footage. It's like, fuck off, Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Kelly's like in this mode where he's asking McMahon like the hard-hitting questions. Like, I need to be the hard-hitting guy. I'm going to ask the questions that nobody else will ask the boss. Why did you not hit Austin last week? And McMahon comes up with a good one. He says, I'm saving the main event at WrestleMania. How can Stone Cold contend for the championship with a broken jaw?
Mic drop.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. That's definitely that's the burn of the year up to this point.
Yeah, that's a damn good one. And then the crowd's just like all over him after that. He's like, boo!
Oh, yeah. Showering booze, throwing them.
So he's building good heat right there.
Yeah.
So it continues from there. And how did it feel to get kicked out of your own ring? Like I said, he walked out of the ring, tail between his legs. Basically, Austin tells him to get the hell out of here. You better walk back. So Kevin Kelly's hard-hitting questions.
Hard-hitting Kevin Kelly.
Yeah. So McMahon responds with that. I do what I do for the WWF fans. It would not have looked good if I had taken Austin out. or taken Austin down. So he continues with that. Like, I would have kicked Austin's ass, which is pretty cool. He's sticking with it. And then again, it's the question that Austin asked McMahon last week. Do you want me to be WWF champion? So Kevin Kelly, of course, being the hard-hitting journalist that he is, he's going to ask the question. Do you want Steve Austin as WWF champion? Yes or no? So McMahon,
can we just refer to Kevin Kelly as hard-hitting Kevin Kelly?
Hard-hitting. All right, there we go.
Sarcastically, the rest of the episode.
There we go. Hard-hitting Kevin Kelly. So McMahon responds, doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the WWF fans think. So Kelly's still pushing it. He's pushing it. Even Lawler now makes mention of it, too. Like, Kevin Kelly's really pushing it here.
Hard-hitting Kevin Kelly.
Hard-hitting, yeah. Hard-hitting, yes. So McMahon responds with, if Austin can be molded into a respected WWF champion, that would be one thing. If Austin becomes WWF champion, as we know him now, it would be a public relations corporate nightmare. Which I thought was great because those of you that watched this and had followed this storyline, you know what happens is that, after WrestleMania, McMahon's going to try them to be corporate and wear the suit and everything. So they're kind of foreshadowing or setting up that right now, in this little promo here. So very good writing. Again, it's obviously Vince McMahon's involved, but Vince Russo is the head writer at this point. So another good thing that he did, where a lot of times he gets shit on for the wacky things he did, which will be a lot of things to come in 1998 that we'll be talking about in the side notes. So, Kevin Kelly, hard-hitting Kevin Kelly. You still haven't answered the questions. It's like, I was getting annoyed watching it. Like, shut the fuck up.
He is annoying. I have a very low tolerance for him.
I have a low tolerance for anybody that asks the same questions over and over again. It's like, you asked, okay, they didn't answer it, so shut up. It's over.
Yeah.
So, McMahon responds, I don't think Stone Cold, the WWF, the fans can handle the truth. It's like his Jack Nicholson moment.
Yeah, like a good men moment. Right
Yeah.
There. And Briscoe and Patterson, they're not there.
Yeah. So hard-hitting Kevin Kelly continues, you still have not answered the question. Yes or no? And that really, which now when you get to this point, it's like, okay, I guess all that hard-hitting Kevin Kelly shit makes sense now because you're going to get this great line from Vince McMahon. And it's not just a no, it's a, oh, hell no. So as annoying as Kevin Kelly was to build up to this, it led to something good. But
yeah, hard-hitting Kevin Kelly, asterisk.
Yeah, fuck hard-hitting Kevin Kelly, but it built up to this good, oh, hell no moment. And he even gives the arm action and all that I love of the Stone Cold, oh, hell yeah. So McMahon's picked up on that Stone Cold's doing that. And then he even finishes up with, and that's the bottom line because Vince McMahon said so.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, fucking dickhead. But there was one little side note that I had. I don't know if you noticed it, but it's at the 1 hour, 2 minute, 43 second mark. There's some kids, 17-year-old kids just fucking around, hanging out at the wrestling show. And one kid's acting like he's giving a stunner to his friend. And he's almost like throwing him over the ledge. Did you notice that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Man. Again, it's at the 1 hour, 2 minute, 43 second mark. Take a look at these fuckheads. He almost killed his friend trying to do a stunner.
And I know we give the Stone Cold University SCU, we give that a lot of flack as being such a bad shirt. But during this Vince McMahon promo, there's actually someone in the crowd with an SCU sign. So apparently,
it's over.
With somebody. Yeah, get over with one guy.
Well, we'll get to it later, but Jim Ross puts it over at WrestleMania too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I know. I noticed that too. I was like, they're still trying.
Man, that shirt sucks. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Even one of my figures that I have has him wearing that. The newest one too. It's the Attitude Era Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's wearing the SCU shirt.
Maybe they sold a lot of those at colleges, campuses, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe they were. Yeah, they're probably just going for the college crowd. Like, yeah, we're in college. We like wrestling. I see you. I don't go to Boston University. I go to Stone Cold University.
It's South Carolina University. Everyone in South Carolina was wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. What are they called? The Gamecocks?
Yeah. Oh, what a shitty name.
South Carolina Cocks. All right, so from there, we now go to a video package of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they did one earlier in the night for HBK. But we're actually going to play the one for Stone Cold because it does do a good job kind of giving you a recap, which we obviously have done here as a good job doing a recap of Austin's career up to this point. But this is like, a little mini version of it. So we're going to play that for you. And there's a couple of good things that come from that I'll mention after you take a listen to that. So take a listen to this video package of Stone Cold Steve Austin's build-up from 96 to 98, WrestleMania 14.
It's a special look at Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Let's face it, Vince, you don't want to see me be the WWF champion, do you? Do you? I'm asking you a question.
Vince McMahon's silence speaks volumes. Stone Cold has never been a favorite of corporate WWF. The pride of Victoria, Texas personifies his hometown, as much as Shawn Michaels does of San Antonio.
I was working on a freight dock, loading and unloading trucks. I saw a little ad for a wrestling school on TV. A few months later, I had my first match. That particular match was $40.
Victoria is a blue-collar town with working-class values.
I paid my dues. That's what you got to do.
These are honest, straight-shooting, regular folk. No BS.
I dig a ditch for you. All you got to do is call me. If you don't like what I'm doing, call me and fire me to my face. When I tore my tricep in Japan off my arm, I got fired by WCW over the phone.
From adversity comes the drive to succeed.
But ain't nobody in the world ever made me quit at nothing in my life.
After 8 years, Stone Cold is ready for the spotlight.
WrestleMania is the big one. It's a time for you to go out there on the biggest wrestling event of the year anywhere and showcase exactly what you can do.
From the time Austin first arrived in the WWF, attempts were made to keep him on a short leash. He was assigned a manager, given a nickname, and was asked to keep quiet. It didn't work.
When I came here, we all had some kind of stupid name. Someone came up with the ringmaster, and after a couple of months of that, I said, basically, it sucks, it's not me, and there's no personality, and I can't be myself. So I came up with the Stone Cold thing because...
Come on, Steve, say what you really mean.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
It's something I said, it's something that's caught on, and basically it's just the way I live. Shawn Michaels goes out there and all the sparkles and everything he does, and I think what he does is fantastic. It fits him, but it doesn't fit me. And, a few years ago I had this conversation with a promoter down south, and he looked at me and he told me, he goes, Steve, you go out there in your black trunks and your black boots, and there's not a whole lot we can do to market that. And if we can't find something for you to do, you need to either talk to someone else or look about finding a new job.
Austin 316 has been a success to the WWF's bottom line, but Stone Cold Steve Austin has been a constant headache to WWF executives. A blatant disregard for corporate authority has been directed squarely at the chairman.
Last week, Vince McMahon comes out here and says, Mike Tyson, the baddest man. That's a slap in the face. You're insulting Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's just the way I see it. If you think he's insulting Stone Cold Steve Austin, give me a hell yeah.
Baddest man on the planet is a figure of speech.
This is a figure of speech right here. How do you like it?
His popularity is extraordinary. He is unquestionably the hottest superstar in the World Wrestling Federation today, and even I really don't know why.
What I do ain't none of your business. I don't give a rat's ass if you own the WWF or not.
It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's driven a truck right in the building. Austin is
You want to fire me, Big Shot? You go ahead and fire me because I really, truly don't give a rat's ass what you do. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Around the snake. Oh, no. Now the stunner. Austin is raising hell.
Does anybody have a cold beer for Steve Austin?
Austin's going to break the world here.
You can kiss my ass.
Oh, God. Iron is unbelievable. It can't be controlled.
Hell no.
Will he be the next WWF champion?
Oh, hell yeah.
Certainly the WWF has done everything to throw as many obstacles at me as they can. And that's just the way it's been. You know, wrestling is a very backstabbing, cutthroat business. You know, the politics, the BS. You know, Shawn Michaels hurts his little knee, what they do? They make a big music video. I hurt my leg, I don't get nothing but a good swift kick in the ass. But that's all gonna change.
Stone Cold is going to WrestleMania.
There are many roads to WrestleMania, but there's just one man who could have traveled this route.
If you don't know, you should know. My name is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I've been busting my ass for 8 years to get this opportunity to wrestle for the WWF title at a WrestleMania. I won the Royal Rumble, which gave me that right. So Shawn Michaels, you can bet your last dollar that I take this match more serious than any match I've ever had in my life.
But Shawn Michaels never travels the championship road alone. He knows the title game like no one else, and the WWF champion deals from the bottom of the deck.
Michaels got him with that super kick right in the chop. Sweet chin music by Shawn Michaels or Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's out. Good God, don't tell me that Mike Tyson has joined D-Generation X. Shawn Michaels is here. The champion. Go Austin again. 2 weeks in a row. The devastating sweet chin music knocks Austin down and out.
Has Austin's uncontrollable temper finally gotten the better of him? The deck is seemingly stacked. D-Generation X has made him a marked man. The baddest man on the planet has taken sides. And after Austin's actions last Monday night, well-placed sources inside Titan Sports are stating that WWF executives are openly admitting that it would not be in the best interest of the WWF for Stone Cold Steve Austin to become champion. But what if he does become champion? Then again, what if he doesn't? What havoc will Stone Cold wreak if his 8-year road to WrestleMania is a dead end?
All right, so there you have it. JV, did you take a look at this video package? You going?
No, I did.
Your research?
It actually starts off with the lame SCU shirt. I think he's wearing at the start of it.
Uh-huh.
Basically, just goes over how Stone Cold's never been a favorite of corporate WWF, and it actually is like almost a response to the video package that HBK had earlier. Not a response, but. Right. We showed you HBKs to start the show earlier, and now, hey, this is who Stone Cold is. So.
Right. And again, it's like what you said before, where they're trying to just educate new viewers.
Yeah.
That might just be tuning in for the first time because WrestleMania is a couple of weeks away.
Yep.
They've heard all the hype.
Yeah, after 8 years, he's finally ready for the spotlight. This is the way he lives. I did this. I forget who says it in the video package, but there's a line. It's like the black boots and plain black tights. They're not going to be enough. Like he needs to do something else. I think it was earlier in the video when they're going over how he was ringmaster, and then that gimmick sucked, and that name sucked, and
yeah, I like that. There's actually a
Stone Cold.
There's actually a quote. I think Kevin Kelly is doing the commentary. It's either Kevin Kelly or Michael Cole. Their voices are similar to me. And they say Austin's attempts were made, and he was given a short leash. He was given a manager. He was given a nickname.
Yes, yeah. Yep.
And he's asked to keep quiet, but it didn't work. I thought that was really cool because it's a way of like showing that the ringmaster gimmick is all part of this story too. It's not that he was the ringmaster then Stone Cold. It was that they forced him to be the ringmaster, and he was like, hell no. I'm not going to be the ringmaster. I'm going to fucking be Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they worked in all that earlier shit into him being pissed off with the WWF. So very cool. All right, so let's get into some side notes. This is the St. Patrick's Day episode. So, of course, because they're very creative at WWF at this point, and they are actually, but not so creative here because they're going to go the easy route and they're going to go, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day, so let's start the show with Ken Shamrock. The Shamrocks and St. Patrick's Day go together. And it does build up to Mania, though, because it is The Rock versus Shamrock. The Rock's going to challenge Shamrock to have a match. He's going to ask D'Lo to have the match. You know, if Kenny can defeat D'Lo in a 2-minute match, then Shamrock's going to get his IC title match tonight. He doesn't have to wait for WrestleMania. And this is the first time that The Rock uses know your role, shut your mouth. The very first time, so pretty cool little side note there. The Rock's going to hit Shamrock with the chair. That leads to a DQ. So right before it gets to the 2-minute mark, Rock runs in, hits him with the chair. So heel action right there.
Awful headshot too with the chair.
Again, of course. Yep.
Yeah, the shots are just crazy.
Yep. So Shamrock is bleeding like crazy. He can't even stand up. Looks like he has a concussion again. So another huge chair shot. Like the second time Rock has done that to him. So that's that for there. And now we'll move on to, we got a gorilla. This is a fucking gorilla here.
Yeah.
They're in Phoenix.
Gorilla. Phoenix Suns mascot.
Yeah, it's the Phoenix Suns mascot.
One of the best in the business.
Yeah. He's going to drop down from cables. He's going to bounce around like a maniac.
Yeah,
and
all over the place.
The crowd is actually more excited for this than anything that has happened earlier in Raw, which was the Shamrock segment and then Sable. And they're just like hyped for this. Obviously, it's Phoenix fans, so they love their mascot apparently. But later in the night, Kane's gonna come down, choke slam and tombstone the gorilla.
Nice.
All while the gorilla's wearing a Gorilla 316 shirt. You have also another side note I have is Jim Cornette. It continues on. This whole angle sucks ass to me, and that's the NWA angle.
Oh, this whole thing's terrible with the the new Midnight Express and
the new Midnight Express comes out. It's Bob Holly, Bodacious Bob, Bombastic.
I thought it was Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart.
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
Whatever it was, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's Bodacious and Bombastic Bob and Bart.
Yeah, forced alliteration.
Yeah. The new Midnight Express, managed by Jim Cornette. And the Rock and Roll Express had been managed by Jim Cornette at this point in the NWA angle. But Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express had always been adversaries throughout the NWA in the 80s. So, new Midnight Express, they're going to turn on the Rock and Roll Express. So, yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. But I thought, hey, might as well just point that out that Bob Holly's back. And he's now in the Midnight Express.
Yeah. So stupid.
Yeah. We're going to have a Chainsaw Charlie match. And Michael Cole is going to say his opponent is B.A. Billy Gunn. Because Michael Cole can't say badass. It's B.A. Billy Gunn. You have Owen Hart on commentary. Mostly throughout the whole show. Owen Hart's on commentary. But our Road Dogg's going to come out. And he's going to give like live mic commentary like modern day, like Leo Rush.
Yep.
How Leo Rush does with some of Bobby Lashley's matches. I don't think he does it as much anymore, but like a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, rather, he was doing that. So what ends up happening there is Road Dogg gets hogtied and he gets lifted up above the ramp by Cactus and Chainsaw. That was pretty cool. Did you have any other side notes you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, at the start of the show, it's a mess. Like the camera angles. I don't know if you noticed, but the camera's just like bouncing around everywhere. It's like very shitty video coverage as they're like trying to zoom in, but it just comes across as like shitty.
Yeah, it's wicked annoying.
Like someone's falling down.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like a seizure. Yeah, just that annoyed me. I was like, what's this bullshit?
Yeah.
Seems extra shaky.
Yeah, that blew.
Yeah. That's it. That's the only side.
Nothing else to say other than that. I guess there was a couple other things. You had Triple H and Owen Hart start to go at it ringside. Triple H is going to regain the European Championship, so we got another shitty change for that title. Owen accepts the challenge for the title match. Then Chyna's going to hit Owen Hart with a baseball bat on his injured ankle. So he shouldn't even be having the match, but he has the match and he loses the title. Now Triple H is the European champion again. Sable challenges.
You're not really hurt, he's telling him, right? You're not really hurt.
Right. Sable challenges Luna. Nothing happens there. It gets broken up. Kane comes down to the ring. He's going to go beat up Sable, but then Undertaker's music hits, and Undertaker saves the day. And he stands at the top of the ramp, and there's a casket there beside him, and he strikes a lightning bolt at it. This is the crazy Undertaker shit. Just strikes a lightning bolt, and then it opens up, and there's a mannequin in there that has like a Kane mask on. Looks like shit. And then it gets set on fire. And then it's like, all right, that looks kind of cool, but it should have been set on fire right away. It was like, I don't know, a 10-second gap where you could just see the shitty mannequin with the Kane mask on. And then it's set on fire. It would have been cool if it was just on fire, like, instantly. Then you would have gotten it. And like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be Kane. That was about it for side notes. So, not a lot of Austin Michaels there. Just those video packages. And McMahon coming out being pissed off at Austin. But now we go to the go-home show. So there'll be some action here. So that's Raw 252 from March 23rd, 1998. This is happening in Tucson, Arizona. This was actually taped on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 1998. So it's going to start off with Austin cutting a promo. So Austin's back. He's going to do a little promo here. We'll talk about it after you take a listen.
Stone Cold.
At that look.
Last week, we saw Vince McMahon.
You might as well just shut the hell up because I really don't want to listen to you. Last week, I think Vince McMahon made it perfectly clear that he does not want Stone Cold Steve Austin as a World Wrestling Federation champion. Damn right, I feel the same way. Vince, you said maybe I could be molded. You cannot mold Steve Austin. You cannot break Stone Cold Steve Austin. In your eyes, I might be the biggest piece of trash you ever saw, but I do what I want, right here in this damn ring, and can't nobody stop me.
Nobody stopped him yet.
Right now, the single most important thing in the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin is to get Shawn Michaels' ass in this ring at WrestleMania and beat his ass 1, 2, 3. I got all the respect in the world for Shawn Michaels as a professional wrestler. It will be the toughest match of my life. The WWF and Vince McMahon can throw as much trash and horse at me as they want, and I'll walk through it all because I want Shawn Michaels' ass.
And it's this Sunday, folks, on pay-per-view.
Stone Cold, the word that I get is that as we speak, DX, that's Chyna, Triple H, Iron Mike Tyson, and Shawn Michaels are on their way to the arena in full force.
When you say they're in full force, does that mean that I'm not? Are you insulting me?
No, sir.
Uh-oh.
If you think he's insulting me, give me a hell yeah.
Wow.
Shut up. I'm gonna cut your ass a little break. Don't make me do it, son. I'll snap you just like that. Oh, hell yeah. Stone Cold is here, and if DX is here, if Mike Tyson's here, that's all fine with me because I got the night off. I'm going to be sitting in the back right there, and I got a big-ass cooler full of Steve Weisers, and I'm going to drink every last one of them.
Well, here comes Commissioner Slaughter.
Don't come in here and tell me you want one of my beers because I didn't bring one for you.
I have a feeling that isn't why he's there.
Commissioner Slaughter?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm here to inform you that you do not have the night off, and you will wrestle here tonight on Raw.
That's big news. That's big news. Wow.
Says who?
Says who? Says the owner of the World Wrestling Federation, Vince McMahon, who unfortunately can't be here tonight, and sent me down here to give you a message that tonight you will wrestle Rocky Maivia, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
Wow. Well, I don't know how fair that is, just 6 days away from WrestleMania.
Hey, if Vince is too much of a chicken to come out here and tell me that, then so be it. But let me tell you something. And like I said, I'll take all the trash you want to throw at me. If Rocky Maivia wants to come out here tonight, I'll wrestle him for 30 minutes. I might lay in a headlock for 30 minutes, or I might turn his lights off like that. I'll give Vince McMahon his little match if that's what he wants. But I'm going to tell you something. I was going to drink some beer tonight. You want me to wrestle? Vince McMahon wants me.
Let me tell you, if you do not wrestle Rocky Maivia tonight, your match at WrestleMania 14 will be a non-title match.
Wow.
A non-title match
Slaughter's
if he does not wrestle Rocky Maivia tonight.
Slaughter kind of throwing his weight around here.
Yeah, provoking Austin.
That's not a good idea.
I just came out here and said I was going to wrestle him. I just told you I was going to wrestle him. I was going to do what Vince McMahon said for me to do. And you come out here and what did you do? You insulted me.
No! Oh, no! Austin just gave the stunner to the commissioner of the WWF.
He attacked another WWF official. Austin has attacked another WWF official.
All right, so Austin's going to make his way out to the stage, and here we have it. Shirt number 6. The rattlesnake shirt.
This is a badass shirt. This is a nice shirt.
Yeah, this one, when I saw this, I was like, oh, shit, yeah, that was an awesome shirt.
Yeah.
So this is shirt number 6. It was the rattlesnake on the front with the red eyes. And then on the back, it said, don't trust anybody. So this is his DTA shirt. And they really are just pumping these shirt outs. It's like every month there's a new one now.
Yep.
It's just
well, they
crazy.
They got a
yeah. People are gonna buy whatever.
Yeah, it's hot. I mean, they're gonna make.
Right.
Imagine the money they made just off these shirts alone. I'm sure you could look it up if we wanted.
Well, it's crazy. Just like the Austin 316 shirt just continues to sell throughout this whole time too. They didn't get rid of it. It's still there.
Yep.
They're adding other ones to it.
Yep.
Because people that have the Austin 316 shirt, well, they want to buy a different shirt.
Yep.
So that's why they keep pumping them
Yeah,
out.
I like Austin. You know what? I want another one. The other one's badass. Yeah. We've been there.
Yep.
I have like 5 Cena shirts.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like Cena. Every time you go to a show, there's a new Cena shirt.
Yeah, and he's got he's the head guy, so they push his out front and center.
Yep.
And they're usually the nicer shirts. So, and at this time, Austin has the better shirts.
Exactly. All right, so Austin comes out. I love it right away because Kevin Kelly is on the mic, and I'm already pretty hot at Kevin Kelly for being annoying. The previous week with Vince McMahon, so Stone Cold comes out. You might as well shut the hell up because I really don't want to listen to you. I was taking the notes. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I think. He's annoying as fuck right now. So last week, as we had just talked about, Vince McMahon made it perfectly clear he does not want Stone Cold as the WWF champion. And that's what Kevin Kelly gives to Austin. So Austin's response is, WWF can throw as much trash and horse shit at me. They bleep that out, of course.
Yep.
But I want Shawn Michaels' ass. We got more ass. He wants ass. And
just
DX
before that,
comes out.
Stone Cold has a nice moment.
Oh, yeah, he does.
You cannot mold or break Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. It's a good one.
So we got a DX in full force. And Austin just... Are you saying I'm not? Are you insulting me? So Kevin Kelly saying, "Oh, DX is in full force. You can't handle them." Basically, is what he's saying.
Yep.
And Austin's like, "You're insulting me." That's like his thing lately. You're insulting me. You're insulting me.
He's on aggression 24/7.
Yeah.
Like that's why he's like, "Don't talk to me." Basically, you talk to him,
right.
he's like pressing you to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on edge. He's like, "Watch it. I'm gonna spare your ass." But I could snap in a second. And I was hoping, fucking stun this guy.
Yeah.
I was hoping for Kevin Kelly stunner. Hard hitting Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly gets stunned.
So Austin's kind of, I'm relaxed right now. It's like, I got a cooler of Steve Wise's in the back. I'm going to drink every last one of them. But then, from there, you got Sergeant Slaughter come out.
Potty poopa.
Yeah. So, don't tell me you want one of my beers. So as Slaughter comes out, Austin says, "Don't tell me you want one of my beers."
I didn't bring one for you.
Yeah. So I didn't bring one for you. Then, Sarge, pissed off as he always is, tells Austin he has a match tonight. This is a week before WrestleMania, so Austin's not going to be happy about this. Sarge tells Austin the match is tonight, and it's against Rocky Maivia. The Rock. So Austin, he doesn't disagree with it. He's not happy. He says, "Hey, I might lay in a headlock for 30 minutes," which is cool. Because it's like pointing out, like, yeah, sometimes we could just slow down a match and just do headlocks and do some rest holds. That was funny. I could lay in a headlock for 30 minutes or I'll just beat him in a second. So Sergeant Slaughter, being the kind of dumbass character he is at this point, is like,
well, he
calls
calls
him
him
wrestle tonight.
He's calling him Rocky Maivia still. Like he's the fucking Rock at this point. Like
it's the Rock now.
Yeah.
Come on.
And on top of it, it's like he didn't listen to anything Stone Cold said.
Right.
I would be surprised if Sarge
say,
botched this, and this was just like, improv.
Yeah, you're right. He probably did. If you don't wrestle tonight, your match at WrestleMania will be a non-title match. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? If it's a non-title match, then I'm not having the match. That's what I would say. Well, then I'm not having it.
Looks like I'm not wrestling.
Screw you. Yeah. Guess there's no match then. Because I'm pretty sure I won a title match.
Yeah.
At Royal Rumble.
And I'm pretty sure you need me to sell this thing.
Right. And I'll sue your ass. On top of it. Taking away my title shot. In kayfabe. So, Austin said, "I just told you I was going to wrestle him tonight." It's like, Sarge, you paying attention? What do? You insulted me. So, he's on the insulting thing. Vince McMahon insulted him. Kevin Kelly insulted him. Now Sarge is insulting him again for not paying attention to what he said. And then, wham! Another stun at the Sarge. And then Austin does the push-ups again, like he did last time back in September.
Make fun of that military.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Pretty cool shit. All right, so from there, later on in the night, you got DX. DX is going to come out, and they're going to cut a little promo. Actually, it's not that little. It's kind of long. But on the road to WrestleMania, it's a good build-up, and it works with the story here. So we're going to play it for you. So take a listen to DX promo. It starts off with Triple H, and then Shawn Michaels is going to make his way in, and he's going to point out a girl with some big tits in the crowd. All right, so take a listen to that, and then we'll talk about that after you take a listen.
Pay-per-view as well.
Welcome, 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 my friends, to the show that never ends. It's DX rated, so kids, put your parents to bed. Let's cut right to the chase and to look at a little footage from last week.
And with this,
what we see here looks like a little assault and battery by China.
Just struck Owen Hart in the ankle, that fall back.
And as the Gimp comes to the ring, Triple H with his shirt
still definitely attached. Applies a submission hold that the little nugget Owen Hart just cannot take. Triple H becoming the new European champion.
Well, Owen Hart will be at WrestleMania. Don't ever doubt that.
The fact that China is going to be handcuffed to the chin at WrestleMania is not going to be a factor, because make no mistake about it, I own you. So Owen, do yourself a favor. Don't show up at WrestleMania. Milk that little leg injury of yours for all you can. Otherwise, I'm going to send you packing to Calgary in a wheelchair for good. Oh yeah, and to all you desert ladies out there.
Uh-oh.
If you play your cards right, you might end up back at Triple H's place tonight. But don't worry, after you get pricked by my cactus, I'll let you play with my prairie dog.
Well, that's a class act, huh? What a European champion. Whoa! Owen Hart will be at WrestleMania, folks. Will she?
Before I start this little interview and have some fun, I'd like to bring the cameraman over here. And I want to show right here
Look.
that this lady has DX on her breast. And I was just wondering, ma'am, do you have two nipples for a dime?
Oh, that's really funny, King.
She's the best looking fan here. Are you double or triple DX?
They're just trying to make change, JR.
And for what it's worth, to all you really attractive women out there, that's a skank. And we realize that.
That's not very nice.
But we couldn't help but to bring the attention of someone having the cojones enough to wear DX on their breasts.
You gotta admit, JR, he nailed it like it is.
For the really, really fun stuff. In the last 3 weeks, I've been listening to Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin in what looks to me to be the world's biggest pinch fight I've ever seen. So to Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, just so you two idiots realize, we've already got a cat fight at WrestleMania. The last thing we need is you two chicks smacking each other around out here. And Vince McMahon, you said that you don't want Stone Cold Steve Austin to be the next World Wrestling Federation champion. First of all, I appreciate your support, Vince McMahon.
Tell these idiots to shut up, JR. We're here. They're expressing themselves. Freedom of speech still lives in the WWF. This Mike would go knock some of them out.
I appreciate your support, Vince McMahon, but if I needed another dirty, stinky, skanky jockstrap in my drawer, well then, I'd give you a call. But otherwise, you leave your opinions at home, because Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't give a rat's ass what you think, and Shawn Michaels sure as hell doesn't give a damn what you think of me or anything I say or do.
DX respects no one, nothing, anybody.
Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you better forget about Vince McMahon.
Neither does Austin.
You better forget about stunning Sergeant Slaughter for the 100th time. You better think about one thing and one thing only. The World Wrestling Federation Championship belt is around the waist of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
And it's likely to stay that way,
There is
JR.
only one way for you to achieve this dream that you've been waiting for 8 whole years. 8 whole years. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're looking at a man that is the exact same age as you, who has been doing this sport for 13 years. I am the one and only man that is still here in the World Wrestling Federation. I am the top dog, the head kahuna, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, I will give you that one chance that you've been waiting 8 whole years for. But Austin, remember one thing. You've got to beat the greatest World Wrestling Federation champion of all time. And there's another small little problem I think you might have at WrestleMania. And what is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, that's right. It's the special enforcer at WrestleMania. The baddest man on the planet, Iron Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah, JR. I don't know how in the world Austin even has a chance Sunday. You don't. Look at it. Wow.
Iron Mike. Tell all of the fans of the World Wrestling Federation what's going to happen if Stone Cold gets in your way. I'm going to knock him out. Whoa. Colder than a block of ice. You will be out like that, Stone Cold. At WrestleMania, Mike, who will come out the World Wrestling Federation champion? You will, Heartbreak. And after WrestleMania, who will still be the baddest man on the planet? I will, Heartbreak. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, Generation X, from now until we say differently, will forever rule the World Wrestling Federation forever.
No doubt this Sunday will be the greatest spectacle in WWF history.
All right, so there you have it. So this promo started off with Triple H, as you just heard. He's talking about the Owen Hart match that he has. Talks about winning the European Championship. La-di-da. Who gives a fuck? Let's move on now to the big tit lady in the front row. Yeah. So this crazy big tit lady, she's going nuts in the front row. She's being held back. She's fucking nasty looking, but she got the boobs popping out, which, I don't know, whatever. At the time, when I was 15, I probably thought, whoa, look at those. But,
Yeah. But
now it's like looking at some lady that's, hangs out at the bar every night.
Yeah, she looks trashy. Like the end of the bar chick.
Right. She just has the tits hanging out to get attention.
Yeah, she looks like she's a mess. That girl's all sorts of way fucked up in this on screen.
Now, I wonder now if she was somebody that they planted, too.
Possibly.
Because they're using her in the segment.
Yeah.
So
they pulled her right off the bar. Is there a bar across the street from that place in Phoenix? Or wherever they are?
Probably. And they focused in on her before Michaels even started to talk about her.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't planned.
It's
they're acting like they're trying to hold her back because she's so crazy.
Yeah. She's going to jump over and hump them. So anyway, HBK does point her out. He says, "Do you have 2 nipples for a dime?"
Yeah, he does.
Triple H joins in. "Oh, you're the breast-looking girl here." So yeah, this has got to be a plant because they planned all that stupid commentary there, the stupid jokes. Are you double or triple DX? But then the best one is Shawn Michaels. I don't want to confuse anybody here, but that's a skank.
Yeah, he does say that. That's the best part of this whole moment. It's like, God, please someone let her know.
So from there, Michaels finally comes around and starts to talk about the man at task here, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he says, you better forget about stunning Sergeant Slaughter. You need to start thinking about the title being around the waist of Heartbreak Kid. You know, the dream that you had for a whole 8 years, 8 whole years, which I like because, 8 years, big deal, big whoop.
Yeah, that's not lifelong.
Right, it's not a long time. So Shawn Michaels like, you're looking at a man that's the exact same age as you, who's been doing this for 13 years. You know, I'm the one and only man who's still here in the WWF. I am the top guy, the head kahuna. So that's badass to point that out.
Yep.
You know, and any new viewers checking in at that point be like, oh shit, he's the man in this place. He's been here the longest. You know, everybody else is gone. Savage is gone. Hogan's gone.
Yep.
Bret Hart's gone. Everybody that was there when he started is basically gone.
Yep.
I didn't take the time to actually go back and see how accurate that was, but just off the top of my head, sounds pretty legit.
No, yeah, I think you nailed it for sure.
That he's the only one there.
Yep.
So Undertaker wasn't there back in 87 or 88. Oh yeah, it's probably the only one. Pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it is.
So Austin was pretty pissed about the whole being Mike Tyson by Vince McMahon being called the baddest man on the planet last week. So Michaels points that out. About, you know, Mike Tyson is the baddest man on the planet. So
yeah,
kind
like,
of just
get
another
over it.
dig. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a trigger word on previous episodes to get Stone Cold all riled up.
Yeah. JR does put in some good commentary here to build up this match because, you know, we're all expecting, just like at Royal Rumble, that Austin is Royal Rumble. Just like at Rumble, we all expected Austin to win, but we were wondering, how is that going to happen?
Yep.
You know, we knew it was going to happen, but how? You know, the odds had to be against him. JR does a good commentary here on trying to set that up for Mania 2, where he says, I don't know how Stone Cold Steve Austin even has a chance this Sunday. So it was good that, you know, you put doubt in people's mind, even though, you know, everyone's kind of on board with, you know, Austin's got to win the title, of course, but you got to have that doubt.
Yeah.
So JR doing the good job that he always does. Reminds the fans that he could lose this. He's up against DX. He has Mike Tyson as a special enforcer against him. You know, the odds are against him. So this creates an underdog situation for Austin. And that's pretty much the gist of it here. Do you have anything to add to that right at the end?
No. Well, actually, I do.
I do.
Okay, go.
Okay, you go.
All right, well, I did notice that HBK rips off John Travolta's 90s wardrobe. I don't know if you noticed what he has on.
Describe it.
He's got like a black overcoat and then like a white dressy shirt that goes right up to his neck, no buttons, nothing. You know, like a suit
shirts.
coat, and he's got like the ponytail like John Travolta was rocking in the 90s. It's just kind of funny. It reminds you of him from like Pulp Fiction and Face Off. How he kind of wears suits in both of those.
Yep.
No, I mean, it's kind of the part where HBK is like, he's like, who will do this? Who will do that? And Tyson's like, you will Heartbreak. He keeps calling him Heartbreak.
Yeah, Heartbreak. That's what I had. That's what I was going to just bring up.
Yeah, that's funny.
I figured you'd have it too.
Like, you will Heartbreak.
You will Heartbreak.
Yeah. So, like,
who's going to knock Stone Cold out if he gets in his way? I will Heartbreak.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like a kid playing hula hoop in the yard.
Yeah. It sounds like Eddie Murphy making fun of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it does.
I will Heartbreak. You will Heartbreak. But the one thing you didn't mention, which stood out to me even at the time, and when I heard it again just watching it back this past week, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, he did say that. He said, what happens if Stone Cold gets in your way? I'm going to knock him out. Cold.
And then he said, HBK says, colder than a block of ice, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I do remember that. don't know how they didn't make my notes. I do like how Triple H kicks off that. He's like, after you get pricked by my cactus, you'll get a bite of my prairie dog. Or something like that.
I never got the prairie dog thing, though.
It was a reach.
Yeah. My prairie dog.
It's. I think it's a joke, aimed specifically at like the like nature in Arizona. I don't know. I guess maybe they have prairie dogs there. I figure that's why he said cactus, because cactus is like in the desert. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't think of that. But it ends with a comment from JR. Is DX... No, not JR. Who the fuck says it? I don't know. Either Michaels or Triple H says it, but is DX will rule the WWF forever. Which I thought was ironic because fucking Triple H is running the show, basically. Or will be running the show. And Michaels is around whenever Triple H wants him to be around. And DX is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yep.
So DX is running the WWF forever. All right, so now that leads us to the match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock in a non-title match, non-IC title match. And it's not a very long match, but it's actually a match that I did enjoy. It starts at the 1 hour, 20-minute mark, 24 seconds. And it's going to go for about 8 minutes to the 1 hour, 28-minute, 45-second mark. And, we have to start off. You get a couple little side things going on here. Austin's going to be on Regis and Kathy Lee this upcoming Friday. So Austin is starting to do the media.
Yep. The media rounds.
Pushing him out there. Yep. Seeing if he can be a true WWF champion. Like Hogan. So.
Yeah, he's about to be the face of the WWE.
Right. So they're just trying to help him out there and get him out there. Get his face out there. So even from that, he's going to win. If he's going to be on Regis and Kathy Lee, he's the next champ.
Yep.
Everyone knew that, obviously. So this match is pretty much like a warm-up, I thought. Like, all right, so you got your big match next week. We're going to put you in the ring in a decent match with somebody you already worked with just to kind of warm you up a little bit more. Because he hasn't been doing much in the house show scene at this point. Mostly tag team matches where he doesn't have to work as much.
Yep.
But this is a nice little single match for him to get ready for WrestleMania. So DX is watching in the locker room. The Rock comes down to the ring. He has his nation with him, with the exception of Farouk. And Farouk apparently has a concussion or is questionable. So it's just Kama, D'Lo, and Mark Henry at ringside.
Well, that's because doesn't The Rock hit Farouk with a chair during Farouk's match with Chains? Is that earlier in the show, right? Because I have that as one of my side notes.
Yep. Yeah, that's a side note. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, it's good to point that out now, though. Yeah. So earlier in the night, The Rock had hit Farouk with the chair, and it was supposed to be accidental, but you can tell, obviously, it wasn't.
Yeah, well, not even
he shakes his head. Shakes his head like, nah. He's like, oh, well, I'm going to hit him.
The only reason why you think it's close is because Lawler makes it sound like it. I don't know. Lawler is heel commentary.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into the match. So the match starts out. You get some decent wrestling to start, and you get some punch exchanges. You get the Luthez press. You get an early stunner attempt. The Rock's going to roll out of the ring. Austin's going to go out of the ring, too, to follow him, but then Mark Henry's there. So Austin's going to attack Mark Henry. Hits him with a clothesline. Austin's going to grab a chair. So some decent outside of the ring action here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this match was actually better than their match that they had at In Your House just a couple months before.
Yeah, definitely.
And mainly because Austin's probably a lot more capable and healthy at this point than he was when he had that last match.
Yeah.
So he's putting in better showing this time.
He's still not crisp.
Austin, no.
Because that sleeper hold he puts on The Rock is very sloppy.
Yep. Right, with that sleeper hold, he tries to back The Rock into the corner. and then that's going to lead to the Rock being able to get a body slam, and then the People's Elbow, which is not the main finisher at this point for the Rock. It's just a move that he uses.
Yep.
Austin's going to kick out at 2. Austin's going to come back with a few punches, gives a shoulder block, and then he gets stopped by a knee to the abs by the Rock. The Rock sets up for an elbow again. Austin's going to stop him. He's going to give him the double birds. And the Rock misses the elbow, so Austin rolls off. Austin's going to give him a bunch of clotheslines, like 3 clotheslines in a row, which is pretty cool. And then he gives him a hip toss. He goes for a hip toss, rather. And then the Rock is going to kick Austin. And they both stumble back. The Rock sets up for a punch. Austin hits the gut shot. Nails the stunner. 1, 2, 3. So a clean victory over the Intercontinental Champion just less than a week before WrestleMania. So it kind of shows you, like, Austin is the man. He just beat the IC champion.
Yep.
You know, the last time he had a match with him, you know, it was kind of a sloppy finish. So we have a nice clean victory here.
Clean,
over the IC champ.
Decisive decision.
Right. Going into Mania, that's important. Yep. That he just is able to beat the guy next in line, basically, The Rock. So I thought that was very good booking, and it's a very good Raw match, actually. We haven't seen very many great matches on Raw. Just not how that show operates, basically, is they don't have a lot of good matches. Most matches end in some kind of screw job.
Yeah. Yep. At this point,
yeah.
You could say that up to current day. There's no clean finishes, really.
Yeah. Yeah, usually not. So I did write that. This is a very good Raw match. I thought it was Skull rating worthy. We usually just Skull rate the pay-per-views, but I thought this one was good enough, and I gave it 3 skulls. So what would you say about this match?
I'd say 3. I can go 3.
3?
3 skulls, the most.
Yeah. I think 3 is what I gave the last match.
Considering it's
all the
Raw
hoopla
match, I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. So Austin was definitely in much better ring shape. There was good action there. Even some good wrestling at some points. I thought it was very enjoyable. And Austin hasn't done this well in a match since the time he got injured at SummerSlam 97.
Yeah, really.
And this is actually the first match that Austin has had on Raw since July 21st. So it's been over half a year that Austin has had a match from start to finish on Raw.
Crazy.
Since the July 21st flag match, where it was the Hart Foundation versus Austin, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels, ironically, on the same team. So, pretty cool. Right after that match, you have D'Lo run in, runs in with a chair. He gets stunned, of course, because D'Lo always gets stunned. We know that. The DX music hits. You get HBK, Triple H, Tyson, China. They come out on the ramp. They bring up, Shawn Michaels says, the Heartbreak Kid has knocked your lights out twice with Sweet Chin Music. And this Sunday, HBK is going to turn your lights out for the last time. So that kind of hyped me up. Got me pumped up for the match when I was watching this. I was like, all right, I want to see this match now.
Yeah,
I'm all excited for it again. So Austin's calling Michaels down to the ring. Michaels starts to head down. Triple H stops HBK. Don't go down there. Don't go down there. And the show ends. So that now brings us to the side notes. But very cool shit leading up to WrestleMania. Great Austin promo. DX promo was pretty solid. And then you had the match with Austin and The Rock. So very good episode leading up to WrestleMania 14.
Damn good go-home show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In terms of side notes, what do you have that stuck out to you?
Well, we just touched upon originally The Rock hitting Farouk with the chair during his match with Chains. There was Vince Russo presenting the award to Sable for the January issue of Raw, which was like, some very cheesy looking plaque.
Yeah, that sucked.
If I'm not mistaken, Luna Vachon and Goldust crashed the match, or Luna Vachon does at least, because she had like a dress on, and
Luna beat Sable.
Yeah,
with the plaque.
Yeah. Another moment I had was actually so Bradshaw and Wyndham actually have a solid match. I don't know why, but I caught myself watching like basically that whole match, and it was like a really good match.
Yeah, it was like a wrestling match.
Yeah, it was good. Like they were good.
Yeah, that was solid. I remember that. That was good. Barry Windham, he's a good worker, but they just weren't using him the right way.
Yeah, you could tell there was like some legit chemistry there. It's good. I liked it.
Right.
JBL obviously takes off for a short period of time. Takes off as in like he becomes world champion and stuff. In the later years of his WWE career, as just JBL, where he's basically like plays the rich white dude with a cowboy hat. So I kind of forgot. Like people always kind of lose sight of Bradshaw during the Attitude Era because he wasn't as prominent during this time, as he eventually is during that short run. So I was like, now I know what they seen him. He was a big ass dude. He was jacked out of his mind. Like he wasn't like ripped, but he was a fucking big dude.
That was definitely solid.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on what you were just talking about earlier, just moments ago with the Sable and the Luna thing. There was one little side note there, and as you said, they gave the award to Sable for the Raw magazine, and it was Vince Russo that did that. So Vince Russo presents Sable and Sonny, who couldn't be there or whatever.
That's what I said,
special
right?
award.
I think I said Vince.
You said that. Yep, you said that.
I didn't say it.
No, but I wanted to point out that during the whole melee with Luna and Sable, you have Vince Russo goes and tries to cover Sable up, but it's very noticeable that Vince Russo grabbed Sable's tit.
Creep.
Yep. Vince. Yeah. So he's putting the blazer on her, and he gets a little handful there.
Yeah, he goes for that cheap feel.
Yep. Yeah, as we said earlier, the Rock hits Farouk with the chair. That was pretty cool. But another one is the Undertaker. So this is just building up to the Undertaker-Kane match. You have Kane and Bearer cutting a promo on Undertaker. And I guess I really just mean Paul Bearer cutting a promo because Kane doesn't say jack shit. But a lightning strike is sent now. So Undertaker the previous week sent the lightning strike and hit the casket and burnt the Kane mannequin. Now this time, Kane is going to strike a lightning bolt and it's going to set a crew member on fire. Just fucking wild. Nuts. And the only other thing I had for a side note is that they show footage of the DX public workout at Faneuil Hall in Boston.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that.
Actually, no. They didn't show the footage. They announced it, rather. Sorry. They announced that there's going to be the public workout.
No shit.
Which would have been nice if they did earlier. Because they don't get to show any of the footage until WrestleMania. I mean, nowadays it would be on the network. They'd play it live on the network.
We would have known already.
Yeah. Back then, it was a little private affair. All right, so that kind of wraps up the two Raws leading to WrestleMania. So that brings us now to the big show, WrestleMania 14, March 29th, 1998, from Boston, Massachusetts, in our home area. And it's a WrestleMania that I did not attend. It's the closest WrestleMania ever, and I did not go to it because I was 15 and nobody would bring me, and it was too expensive, of course. So I did not go. I watched it on pay-per-view.
Nope, I watched it on pay-per-view with my brother, my father, and I'm pretty sure a couple of my dad's buddies whose house we used to go to.
Oh, you watched it on Black Box then?
Yep. The Black Box.
So when I was, writing the notes for this, I was thinking, there needs to be another WrestleMania in this area. What the hell?
Yep.
They did it for 14. Why haven't they come back ever since? I guess the whole spectacle of the whole long weekend kind of throws a monkey wrench in things, I guess. But they could do it in Boston. Yeah. Still, they could have it at TD. TD Garden not big enough.
No, they could have it at either Fenway
Foxborough.
or Foxborough.
Yeah, Fenway or Foxborough. Foxborough would make more sense because it's more like MetLife. in New York, in New Jersey.
Yep. Which they could do Foxborough. I don't know. I mean, I get why they haven't, but I don't know. Maybe they just don't.
Yeah, because if they didn't in Foxborough, then NXT would have to be somewhere else.
Yep.
It would have to be like at Providence Civic Center.
Yep.
Or Dunkin' Donuts Center, rather.
Which is too far away.
And it's only 15, 20 minutes away. But for Raw and SmackDown, they'd probably want to do it in Boston.
Yep.
TD Garden, which is like 45 minutes away from Foxborough.
That's, I mean, the spacing between the venues.
Yeah.
They could do NXT and the Raw at freaking the TD Garden. I mean, I don't know how much that would cost them, but it's tough too because you got Bruins and the Celtics play.
Yep.
They got their
Celtics always play right before. Usually on a Friday night they're playing because we used to go to those games all the time. The Friday right before WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the logistics is just what kind of fucks the whole situation for us here with getting a WrestleMania. There's too much running around. It's not close enough.
Yeah, I think the travel is just too much, and I think they try to keep like packages isolated. I don't know.
Right, because you're right. They have those travel packages. Yeah. So they're not going to sell travel packages and be like, oh, you got to go to Providence for NXT, then you got to go to Foxborough for WrestleMania, and then you go to Boston.
But it's convenient. I mean, because you can fly into Providence. You know, it is it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's convoluted.
Yeah.
So we're screwed. We're not getting WrestleMania ever.
No, maybe at a Fenway. You never know. You never know. Maybe the new Fenway.
If they stick to Boston.
If they ever stop being cheap and just fucking build a new one. So I don't have to sit uncomfortably for 9 innings at a fucking game and pay $14 for a fucking beer.
Sitting sideways.
Yeah, sitting sideways. My back's all fucked up as I'm leaving. Like, what the fuck is this? It's fucking 2019. Why am I watching a game like it's 1919?
With a beam in the way.
Yeah. Fucking. I love the Red Sox, but man, and I know people are like, oh, it's the heritage. No, fuck that. It's getting to the price now where I don't want to fucking,
Right. Why does it cost so much to be in a museum?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? Anyway.
All right. So let's now get to WrestleMania. I figured we'd start with side notes before we get to the main event. So was there anything that you thought stood out early in matches? Actually, let me just point out, America the Beautiful is what's usually played by guest performers at WrestleMania. So it was going to be played by the DX Band, Chris Warren, and they did both. They did America the Beautiful and they did the Star Spangled Banner. And apparently, I don't remember at the time. I'm sure I probably just thought it was cool because I loved DX at the time. And I loved the fact that they were like Rage Against Machine ripoffs.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. You know what I noticed? You know what I noticed? It was just funny because I was watching it actually with my brother. Who it was funny because the last time I probably watched it was with him. Except now we're, a lot of years later. But anyhow, the way they dress, it's like a lot of that music era back then. They dress like that's what junkies dress like nowadays. I thought it was funny. And my brother's like, yeah, it's because he's like, that's why they're junkies because they never grew up out of that era.
Yeah, they're still wearing the same clothes they got.
Yeah, that's funny. But it was funny because the band is what triggered that, just like everything they had on.
Yeah,
I was like, these guys look like junkies. Like they dress like junkies do today.
So apparently their performance was so horrible, and I'll need to go check it out on YouTube probably, or find it somewhere. But their performance of America the Beautiful and Star Spangled Banner was removed from all the network and all the DVDs that they eventually started to sell later for WrestleMania 14.
No shit.
I have an older WrestleMania 14 on DVD, so I'm going to check that out and see if it's on there.
Yeah.
So the show starts off without much fanfare as was watching on the network, and that's because they cut out that America the Beautiful and Star Spangled Banner. So it kind of just starts off with the show. It's time for the Battle Royal right from the start.
Yeah.
So you have this 15 tag team Battle Royal. So 30 men in a Battle Royal all tag team. That sounds like shit to me. That would not be appealing. Ugh,
No, it's like pre-show teams. Now.
Yeah, big time pre-show. But the whole big thing here with this is that Legion of Doom is back together again. They had been having their little issues, and they were off TV for a little while. There was a Raw magazine article about them splitting up, and now they're back. Sunny brought them back together, and Sunny's their manager. She's finally fucking doing something. And she's wearing this whole new little shitty outfit. Looking hot, of course.
Yeah, I'd say I like the outfit. I remember it.
Then LOD comes out there. Legion of Doom are LOD 2000. Back, 98, 99, everything was 2000. That was so lame back then.
2000 was everything like fucking metal, spiky and robotics, and like shit was going to change that much in fucking 2 years.
Right. Like, it's the year 2000. It's the future now. Like, all right, we got flying cars and hoverboards now.
Yeah.
So, Legion of Doom, though. The one thing I did like about this LOD 2000, their entrance here at least, is that they came out with the biker helmets, and I thought that looked pretty badass.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was nice to see their whole, it kind of freshened up their outfits.
Right. But then apparently it didn't work because it ended pretty quickly after that. But the helmets looked pretty badass. Hawk took his helmet off, and he had his old school face paint. He didn't have the I don't know how to really describe it, but he used to during the 90s he would have like that two-sided paint.
Yep.
Whereas in the 80s he had that solid face paint across his face.
Yep.
That's what he brought back here. The black and the yellow.
I remember that.
So that was pretty cool.
It was almost like Stinger,
which kind of does
in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of doesn't make sense if they're going to be LOD 2000 and he comes out with his old face paint.
We're going back to 1980.
Yeah. That's the 2000.
LOD 1980.
He should have, what they should have done is just something totally different. No more spider on animal's head.
Yeah.
Just totally different face paint. Or no face paint because they're trying to be, year 2000. And they had just been on the Raw magazine with no face paint.
Yep.
And they also had another segment not that long ago before that where they didn't have their face paint on either. And I said it was kind of like Kiss when they didn't have their face paint on.
It's like, what is this? Is this real?
Yeah.
It's like something you can't unsee.
So of course LOD is going to win, and they're going to get their title shot at the next pay-per-view. And from there, they go on to show the DX public workout. This is when Austin gets tied up in the ropes by the Los Boricuas, who are paid to attack Austin. And then DX comes out, and Mike Tyson and Shawn Michaels are going to kiss Austin on the forehead. So that was a kind of memorable clip there.
Yep.
And then you got the Jennifer Flowers interview with The Rock, which is very cool. It's kind of showing like The Rock as being like an important figure in the WWF. Jennifer Flowers known for fucking Bill Clinton. And so she's interviewing The Rock, which now you watch today. It's like, wow, that's funny. And she even asked The Rock, what if you were president? So it's like, there's a lot of talk of The Rock one day running for president, but all the way back then, they're asking, what would you do if you were president?
She's probably like,
from there,
would you bang me? It's like, if I'm still alive. He's got to look like shit now.
The Rock would not bang your candy ass. All right, from there, it's Owen Hart versus Triple H for the shitty-ass European Championship. It's like, what the fuck are they doing with Owen Hart at this point? They take the title from him. Now he's going for a title match again. Chyna's handcuffed in this match, so she can't interfere, but obviously she's going to interfere at some point. So she does. Chyna hits a low blow on Owen Hart. Triple H gets the pedigree, and he retains the title.
Yep.
So it's like they're squashing Owen Hart. It's kind of like insult to injury, basically.
Yep.
And it starts to make sense why Bret Hart is so pissed at the WWF during this time, because his brother decided to stay, and it's almost like they're still taking out what Bret did on Owen. And Owen's just like too professional to cause any drama about it, so he just gets fucked. And this is where it starts to show that Triple H is getting a little bit power in the business, in WWF business, because now he's continuing to shit on Owen Hart.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
At this point, they don't know what the hell they want to do with Owen. It's like, all right, they know their brothers jump ship. It's like, do they want to push him? I think some of the roadblocks they had in trying to get Owen Hart pushed, even if they wanted to, even if it was as a really good heel or even like a top of the guard face, is that he still had the Hart last name. And as long as they pushed Owen Hart, I still think that made people remind them of Bret Hart. So I think they probably didn't want to go that route, considering Bret Hart was, supposed to be a big part of WCW programming. I don't know. That's a theory.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I just don't like what's happening with Owen Hart here. So let's move on to the next match, which is The Rock versus Ken Shamrock, and this is the IC title. And JR at the start of this match says, "The European title is on the line." I mean the IC title. Excuse me. It's easy to get caught up in it. It's funny. It's like, European Championship sucks. Why? How are you confusing?
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
Intercontinental. Yeah. So this match kind of annoyed me watching this. The ending. So you have essentially Ken Shamrock wins the match. The Rock taps out, but because Ken Shamrock can't control himself, according to the ref reverses his decision, then DQs Ken Shamrock after awarding him the win and the championship. But because he starts to beat up The Rock more after the match, he reverses it. It's not like Ken Shamrock kept the ankle lock on The Rock the whole time. Okay, so say Shamrock has the ankle lock on The Rock. They ring the bell. Say he doesn't let it go. Okay, then you have an argument for disqualifying him at that point.
Yep.
But Ken Shamrock breaks the hold because the Nation runs in. He fights off the Nation. And after he fights off the Nation, he goes back to The Rock and puts the ankle lock back on. Then that's when the ref decides, nope, DQ. So The Rock retains.
Stupid.
It sucked.
It was awful.
Horrible. I mean, they're building heat for The Rock and for the Nation, of course, to get us to be like, fuck off. Exactly the same reaction that I'm having is what they want to create. So I get it. But it's real. It's real to me, damn it.
It's still real to me, damn it.
I didn't like that. So The Rock retains.
It's just better storytelling. It's not about being, real to me. It's just, you want good quality plot lines and stories. The hell.
Right. Don't change, DQ thing. That's what they did, is they just tried to change what they do. That rule doesn't apply now. We're doing this because we want to. That kind of logic just annoys me, that they figure that, the fans don't really care. Well, they know it's not all real, so we can just do whatever we want. Defy all logic.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
To an illogical business. Anyway, so The Rock retains it. It's lame booking. Builds heat, but it fucks Shamrock. And it's just going to make Shamrock even more pissed. And I guess that's what they want. So we'll see what happens from there. We'll continue to follow along. But I know it's not anything great for Shamrock. But it could have been if he won this match.
Yep.
Fair and square like that. All right, so you got New Age Outlaws and Cactus and Chainsaw. And you had told me earlier that you watched this with your brother. And you had said in previous episodes that you guys love this. Cactus and Chainsaw. So what did you guys talk about when you were watching this match?
It was just like, I don't know. We were laughing a lot because of, especially at the end with the way Terry Funk's acting all crazy and banging his head against the dumpster. And It was funny because Jess, my girlfriend, was in there too, and she's like, "What the hell is this? What's wrong with that guy?" So it was kind of funny. Just the epicness of them having a forklift, and
Oh yeah,
it's chaotic. So I don't know. It was good. I think he's gonna go home and watch some more Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie matches though. But it was a big moment. They won. They won the belts. So
yeah,
which was cool. The crowd loved it, and it. Is the next match after this one? Is it Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels? No, it's the Undertaker and Kane. Yeah. But I don't know. The crowd, it definitely kept the crowd alive heading into basically like the final hour or so of the show, I'd imagine, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, the last 4 matches of the show is all, solid shit.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like the ending of the Rock Shamrock, it was still good shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, the first half kind of sucked. And then you get to that point with the Rock, and then this tag match. It's all pretty good from there. So, one thing I didn't like, though, about the tag match is that you had it's a dumpster match, so you're supposed to get dumped into the dumpster.
Yeah.
They have this dumpster at ringside, but it ends with the forklift dumping the New Age Outlaws into a dumpster backstage.
Yeah.
Which is not the official dumpster of the match.
Oh, does it have to be that? Did it have to be that dumpster?
Well,
they didn't bother me because I'm like, They didn't really bother me because I'm like, dumpster's a dumpster.
No, it was still cool, but I'm trying to think a little logically here. It's like you had this dumpster out there. It should be designated to be the dumpster you're going to drop them into. But then they just went to the back and did that. Anyway, it's a cool visual. Cool shit. I love Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie, and all that. So, ends up being pretty fun. And again, it's a memorable moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that now leads us to Undertaker versus Kane. And the main thing that I had about this Undertaker versus Kane match is Pete Rose. Pete Rose is a guest ring announcer. And he's shitting all over the Red Sox. At this point in time, the Red Sox, and Boston sports for that matter, is not the Boston sports that everybody knows today.
Hell no.
We were not title town.
Just in those rafters alone at the Fleet Center. Now the TD Garden. We added
the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, we added the Celtics and the Bruins.
Celtics and the Bruins, yeah. But no Red Sox. Obviously not in that building, but
yeah, right. But there weren't any.
No.
And there weren't any Patriots ones.
Nope. A totally different world back then. And Pete Rose goes on. I left some tickets for Bill Buckner, but he couldn't bend over to pick them up. How about it? How about it? The city of losers. Which is so ironic because now we know.
Yeah. Fuck you,
a lot has changed in the last 21 years, Pete Rose.
Eat those words, douchebag.
Yeah, you're the one that's not in the Hall of Fame. Although, he should very well be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he should. Get over it.
Yeah. It's fucking gambling. Fuck off. Gambling's going to be illegal everywhere. So, time to change that shit. No. And then he continues on. You can't win a World Series. You can't win a World Series. So I looked up our numbers. And the Red Sox are tied for the most World Series since 1998. So ever since he made that comment, the Red Sox are tied with the most World Series victories, which is 4. Yankees have 4 also since 1998 because they went 98, 99, 2000, and 2007 or something like that. They got 4. And then the Giants had 3. So Red Sox, one of the best teams in Major League Baseball since Pete Rose says we can't win a World Series.
Yes,
so thank Pete Rose. Thanks for reversing the curse.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
And it took, actually, maybe it was Kane, tombstone in his ass. It changed our luck. It would take 5 years, but it happened. Oh, I remember that victory. I was at your house. We ran into the streets. Do you remember that? We ran outside. No, you stayed in your house. You stayed inside. I was with me and Marty. Ran outside, and we were like yelling in the street.
You watched it at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that was fucking awesome. Anyway, so The Undertaker wins that match, of course, and I thought this is Undertaker's probably best match that he had at WrestleMania up to this point. His previous opponents had been Snuka at 7, Jake the Snake at 8, Johnny Gonzalez at 9, King Kong Bundy at 10, Diesel at 12. No, Bundy at 11, sorry. Undertaker wasn't at 10 because he was dead at that point. He was put in a casket by Yokozuna and a bunch of other people at Royal Rumble 94.
Yep.
So he wasn't at WrestleMania 10. WrestleMania 11 was King Kong Bundy. WrestleMania 12 was against Diesel. 13 was Sid. He won the World Championship. And then Kane. So I thought Kane was the best one. What do you say? I put up a poll. I don't know if you voted on it.
No, I didn't see it. But I didn't. We actually skipped over this match. We didn't catch this match.
Oh.
We didn't watch
so I had
Baker and Kane.
So I thought this was probably
up to this point. I'd imagine it's his best one.
Yeah,
because a lot of them were kind of stinkers.
Right, and this had a lot of good build up to it.
Yeah, so, his brother.
Like I said, yep. So a lot of drama there. I mean, the year before he won the World Championship, so that's a pretty big deal too. But I put up a poll and I attached it to the Talking Taker podcast so that their listeners would see it and that they would share it with them. So we can get a kind of idea of what the Undertaker fans, the hardcore Undertaker fans, thought. And it ended up being what I thought. People thought that the Kane Undertaker match was the best one. It was 49% agreed that Kane Undertaker was the best match Undertaker had up until WrestleMania 14. Then it was Diesel with 33% at WrestleMania 12, followed by Jake the Snake at WrestleMania 8 with 16%. And then Sid with only 3%. So I kept Snuka off the poll, of course. Johnny Gonzalez and Bundy all off the
Johnny
poll.
Gonzalez with his body.
So when Undertaker wins the actual championship for the second time against Sid, that was only 3%. So people didn't really care for that match. Oh well. All right, now so we go on to the main event, our big main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels. Mike Tyson as the special enforcer, whatever the fuck that means, and I'll talk about that later on in this match. But what all that was about.
Yeah, he has no power, and then all of a sudden he can count people to victory.
Right, he can make a 3 count out of nowhere. All right, so we got a pre-match promo. It's a couple minutes long. This kind of just focuses on Tyson's appearances leading up to WrestleMania. That starts at the 2-hour, 8-minute mark, so if you're going to go back and watch, that's pretty cool to take a look at, just building up to WrestleMania and all of Tyson's appearances. Then you get the entrances. The entrances take freaking 7 minutes. And Mike Tyson comes out first. He comes out to live music from the DX band.
Sounds like shit.
And yeah, it sounds like shit. It's kind of like a ripoff of their own DX theme music.
It's awful. It's so bad.
Yep. What I did like is that Austin is going to get followed out to the gorilla position, and the cameras are just behind him, as they've done a couple times actually before. And they follow him out there. The music hits, the crowd goes nuts, and Mike Tyson's already in the ring, of course, at this point, and you can see how excited Mike Tyson is.
Yeah,
and he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be against Austin.
Yeah, and he's borderline
like a little kid.
Awkward. Yeah. Because he doesn't know how
to
react.
He's like, oh, yeah. Right. Well, he wants to be all excited because Austin's walking out and the music's playing. So he's excited to be there at WrestleMania. But then when Austin gets in, they do a little jaw-jacking moment and just saying whatever the fuck. Just yelling at each other. And then you get this pulsing music. Did you notice that pulsing music?
No.
It was in between everybody's entrance. It was like dun 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 dun, some kind of shit like that. And that's just playing, and then the next entrance music will play. So it shows HBK. He's at the gorilla position also. He's on camera. He's like, "This is for you, Earl." And I assumed it was Earl Hebner. So I looked it up, and it was Earl Hebner that he was talking about. So Earl Hebner had been hospitalized at this point for a stroke, I think.
Oh, jeez.
And, yeah, so he was saying this match is for Earl. And Earl had done many of the main events for most big shows to this point, and obviously he's not going to do this one. Mike Chioda is going to do this one. The DX band plays the live version of Break It Down, the DX theme, and I actually thought it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, no, see, that was a good performance. Much better than that Tyson garbage.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't want to use their great performance for that first song. They wanted
yeah, I bet.
Hold off. All right, so the match is going to start at the 2-hour, 17-minute mark, 34 seconds, and it's going to go about 20 minutes exactly, like exactly 20 minutes. And as I said, Mike Chioda is the ref, who's still major ref in the WWE today. He's like the senior ref today. So he gets his first big moment here at WrestleMania 14 to the main event. And you have Tyson on the outside. And right at the start of the match, Tyson's going to try to trip Austin. So Austin's going to peg off Michaels to start. HBK sneaks in a couple jabs, and they're going to run around the ring briefly. Momentum's going to start to pick up in the ring. Austin's going to hit a couple sledgehammers, and like double axe handle type moves. And Michael's going to try to escape. Austin grabs him by the trunks, and then, of course, Shawn Michaels' ass is going to be hanging out.
Yeah, I know. For a long time.
Right.
Felt like forever.
For a few moves.
Yeah. Is it over
right, from
yet?
there. So from there, his ass is out, and Austin's gonna kick Michaels in the leg, and then he's gonna bounce him off the ropes. He's gonna do a back body drop to the outside again while his ass is hanging out, and he hits Triple H at ringside. So Triple H is pissed, and he's gonna go attack Austin. He throws Austin to the guardrail. So at that point, Mike Chioda is gonna ban Chyna and Triple H from the ring, which I thought was good. I like when they get rid of the people out the outside.
It was great they did it this early in the match, too.
Right, just set the tone like, this is going to be a match between them. None of this bullshit interference. Because if they were out there the whole time, you're just thinking in your mind, what are they going to do?
Yeah, it's like, all right, it's coming. It's just when.
Right. So, good to get rid of them. And the match continues on. They fight into the ring. And actually, Austin's going to follow Triple H. He's going to follow him to the stage, basically. So Austin continues to attack Triple H, and Michael's going to catch up with him eventually. He's going to hit him with the cymbals from the drum kit, and then Austin is whipped into some dumpster. Do you see that? A dumpster that's just there randomly?
Yeah, randomly. Was it left over from the Cactus Jack match, maybe?
Well, I assume so, but that's where they're going to place it. They're going to place it right on the side.
Spot, yeah.
Right. So they end up taking advantage of that and using that in the match. They make their way back to the ring finally. You got a double axe handle from HBK from the ropes, which you hate. You hate that move.
Yep.
And we just talked about that on the watch-along we did last week of the Hollywood Blondes versus Flair and Anderson. That's such a shitty move. And HBK does that here. It's kind of like a move like, I don't know, I don't want to do much, but hey, just another spot. So Austin's going to counter with a punch to the gut. You get a nice Irish whip from Austin to Michaels into the corner. I thought Michaels was going to do the Flair corner spot that we saw this past week on our watch-along, where he kind of flips up over the turnbuckle.
Yep.
And onto the side. But it didn't end up going that way. But It looked like it was setting up for that. We get a weird inverted atomic drop from there. Michaels looked like he's trying to avoid the back body drop because he's in pain. I don't know if you noticed that, but Michaels just looked like
he did
pain the whole match.
Yep, his lower right back, I believe, lower right side.
Yep. I mean, it is known that he had back injury at this point, and he was limited in what he could do. But it really shows. But and still to put on a 20-minute match, fucking, that's a tough son of a bitch to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So Austin's going to drop Michaels on the ropes while in a waist lock, kind of like, I forget what we call it. What was that movie used to do?
Who?
Used to drop the guy on the ropes, Austin.
The stun gun?
Yeah, stun gun. Yeah, the
Yep.
stun gun. There you go. So, kind of like a stun gun onto Michaels. Michaels going to avoid an attempt for the stunner right after that. This is happening at 2 hours and 23 minutes. So, trying to end the match quickly here. But, not going to take. Austin starts to drop a series of elbows at that point. He's going for covers, which is cool. I like that.
Yep. Trying to win the
I
match.
like when you go for, right, exactly. Go for the win. So he gets some failed attempts there. And then you start to have some rest hold action, which at this point in the match is typically normal because they want to talk over the next half of the match, really, or the next set of moves in this rest hold. And the referee is in great position because he is covering both faces of Austin and Michaels from the hard cam. So you can't see their discussion.
Yep.
So very good there. Covering that up so that they can discuss the next set of moves. Which will be Michaels hitting a jawbreaker on Austin. He then rolls out of the ring. Michaels tries to wrap Austin's leg around the corner post. But Austin's going to pull him in. Okay, like he had done to Bret Hart in a few of those Bret Hart matches. Where he slams into the corner post.
Yeah, it's a way to block it.
Yep. So Austin's going to slam Michaels into the guardrail from there. Austin goes to a clothesline, and he's going to try to clothesline HBK over the rail, but HBK is going to counter with a back body drop. He actually sends Austin into the crowd, and Michaels is going to hit Austin with the ring bell too. So things are getting pretty rough out there. And this is what made me think of
not much
Tyson.
Enforcement out there.
Yeah, what the fuck is Tyson doing? They're fighting all around the ringside. You had Triple H early in the match attack Austin. I mean, I guess that makes sense that Tyson would let Triple H attack Austin. But at this point, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. So what the hell is a special enforcer enforcing nothing? So Tyson's doing jack shit. He shouldn't allow any of this to be going on. Tyson's role should basically be like a one-man lumberjack match.
Yeah, and Mike Chioda is basically yelling at Tyson too, like, "What are you doing?"
To do something, right? Do something. You're the baddest man on the planet. That's why you're here. You should be able to keep these guys in the ring. Times like this is when they need to have a cage match. That's what calls for a cage match. You want the guys to stay in the ring? You have a cage match. But we have the special enforcer, and he's doing nothing. Until the very end when he decides to do something, which is very odd, and we'll get to that momentarily. So, you have Austin and Michaels, they get back into the ring. HBK is going to hit Austin with a double axe handle. How many fucking double axe handles are you going to get in this match? It's just axe handle. So, we know that they're very limited to what they can do. So, you get a lot of these, cheap moves. And then he starts to pound away on Austin. He's going to stomp Austin in the face. He's punching Austin in the corner. You can see that Michaels at this point is hurting like a motherfucker. He's holding his back. He's holding his lower back. He can't even not hide it. It's just all over his face. And he's not selling either because there hasn't been many moves on his back up to this point.
Nope.
So
he has not been working the back.
He's not selling it. Right, exactly. The only move to his back was the hip toss out of the ring onto Triple H. That was the only move that may have hurt his back. But they didn't even bring that up on commentary much as why his back hurts. But JR is doing a good job just bringing up the fact that Michaels does have back issues because it's obvious to the audience that something's wrong with his back. So JR, again, doing a great job, is going to point it out. So JR's just a man. He knows exactly what to do. He's got to be the best commentator of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are. I think he's number one.
It's tough to say. I really liked Bobby the Brain Heenan, so.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. Well, Jim Ross.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Ross, he gives the call. Bobby Heenan's more color.
And I really liked Vince McMahon.
Color commentator.
It's tough.
Did you?
Yeah, I think just like the greatest debate, it's got to be by era now. Whether it's for sport, wrestling, announcer role, it's tough to just anoint one.
That's true. Yeah, and even still,
he's arguably number one. He's top 3 for me, at least.
Yeah,
probably top 2, honestly.
Yeah. With that said, I even enjoy Tony Schiavone as much as I enjoy Jim Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Bobby Heenan, just for the comedy factor.
Yeah.
But
yep.
Anyway, get back to the match here. So Austin's going to start to gain some momentum, and he's going to slam HBK to the mat. He throws him over the ropes. Michaels pulls Austin down, pulls him to the corner post, slams his leg into the post. You get multiple slams, so he's really attacking the knee now, Austin's knee. And it's the knee with the brace. So Michaels starts to have the advantage, and he's going to continue to work on Austin's knee in the ring now. And Michaels is looking to go for a figure 4, but Austin's going to kick him off, and he's going to roll him up for a 2 count. Michaels is going to recover very quickly at that point and go back to work on Austin's knee. Austin rolls out of the ring, and Michaels does a nice baseball slide out underneath the bottom rope, kicking Austin into the announce table, which is pretty damn solid. So, good match going on up to this point. I thought, based on the fact that there's limitations to both wrestlers, so it's not the best that we've seen from HBK and Steve Austin, of course, but the big match feel, putting it all together, doing what they can, it's quality match, it's smart. It's just good, solid match, in my opinion, up to this point. Tyson's actually going to do something finally with Austin outside of the ring. He's going to throw Austin back into the ring, so he's actually doing his job, which is what he should be doing. It's funny that Jerry Lawler even mentions that. He's like, oh, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
He is with us. They're probably all worried. Is he going to come through at the end of this match? Is this guy with us right now?
Right, is he paying attention?
About to bite somebody?
Is he in a daze right now? So, back in the ring, you have Michaels chop blocks Austin knee. HBK is going to get that figure 4 on this time, and Michael uses the ropes to get leverage, which is I always love that. Love that move. When you grab the ropes and just get some extra leverage there. But Tyson's right there. So Tyson's a true enforcer. He should be pushing Michael's hands off the ropes. But he is in DX corner, I guess. So I get that. I understand that. Austin's going to counter the figure 4, which is when you turn over, apparently puts the pressure on the man that started the figure 4. And that's going to allow for Austin to get to the ropes, and that breaks the hold. Austin's going to counter with a series of punches at that point. He's going to catapult Michaels into the corner. Goes for a cover. Gets a 2 count. You get an Irish whip reversal. Michaels gets to Austin into a sleeper hold. So it's that classic Austin kind of bounce off the rope. His opponent gets him in a sleeper hold. And I thought it was going to lead to the jawjacker. I don't know what you thought watching it, but it seemed like
I thought it was going jaw. Yeah,
that move where
jawbreaker, right?
Yeah, the sleeper to the jawjacker, the jawbreaker. That's what Jim Ross calls it, the jawjacker. But
surprisingly, it doesn't happen.
It didn't lead to that. Yeah, it didn't happen. I was waiting for it. I was like, oh, shit, cool.
Right when the spot happened, I remember I was like,
happen.
oh, wow. Didn't go that route.
Yeah. So Austin's trying to break the hold. Okay, so the sleeper hold stays on for a little bit. He's going to back Michaels into the corner. But Mike Chioda is in the way. And he gets slammed. And then he gets slammed again. And again. So now you have the situation with the refs down. So we know what we're getting to at this point. Things are about to end soon. So Austin's going to send Michaels into the opposite corner. Hits him with a series of punches. Then he starts to stomp a mud hole on him. He's going to stomp the mud hole. Now he gives a back body drop to Michaels' injured back. Michaels sneaks in a flying forearm, which is pretty cool. Both guys are on their backs, and the ref is out. And there's only Mike Tyson at ringside. So you have both guys laid out on their backs. Ref's in the corner, knocked out. Mike Tyson at ringside. What's he going to do? HBK does his classic kip up, which the cameraman totally misses. You barely see it. But he does get that kip up, and he climbs up to the top rope, and he hits a sweet elbow drop. Michaels' elbow drop, underrated. I often forget about it, but it's one of the best ones out there.
Yeah,
JV? Oh, okay. I know we had some issues earlier, so
I didn't want to cut you. I didn't want to cut you off.
Away again? All right. So get that sweet elbow drop from Michaels. Austin's gonna duck the shitty attempt at the kick. So HBK sets up for sweet chin music, but it sucks. It's like it's not gonna be sweet chin music because you can tell he's holding back.
Well, it's almost like a hook kick he does, not like a super kick, because this is the way he kind of tries to set himself into the move. It wasn't the cleanest transition of a super kick into reversed into someone else's move or whatever.
Yeah. So it looked kind of fugazi.
Fugazi.
Little shitty. Fugazi, bro. So Austin ducks it, like I said. Austin's going to kick Michaels in the gut. HBK reverses. So he tries to get him a kick in the gut, but HBK reverses. And he sends Austin to the ropes. He's going to set up for chin music again. Austin's going to block it by grabbing the leg. He shakes his head like Hogan, which is funny. He's like, oh, no. No way. He spins Michaels' legs around. Gets the kick to the gut. Nails the Stone Cold Stunner. But there's no ref. Mike Chioda's still out. Austin goes for a cover anyway, even though there's no ref. So Mike Tyson just slides in there, and he makes like the quickest 3 count ever. It just makes no sense because you haven't helped him out all match. You haven't really done shit. But now all of a sudden you're just going to be on Tyson. You're going to be on Austin's side.
No, it didn't.
It made no sense
at all. And I thought the same thing.
This is
bullshit.
Like they've been building up for a month of Tyson being with DX, and the odds are against Austin. But the moment that Tyson can help Austin, he slides in there like a little kid and gives the fastest 3 count ever.
You know what? Sorry, Hopweight. Sorry, Hopweight. Cold Stone's my man. Yeah.
Cold Stone's my man. So there you have it. Match ends at 2 hours, 37 minutes, 34 seconds. And now you get some post-match action. And you get Tyson raises Austin's hand, of course. And you get the classic JR screaming, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And Lawler, like us, is confused. It's like, what the hell's up with Tyson? It's a double cross. So Austin now, god damn it, after 22 episodes, after over 2 years with the WWF, after 8 whole years, he is the world champion. The Austin era has begun, according to JR.
Yeah.
And it is. It has begun. Yeah, he's the man. Austin's 8-year journey has been culminated. I don't know why I was trying to do like Vince McMahon for JR, but nonetheless. Austin's then going to give Tyson that Austin 316 shirt. Mike Tyson doesn't even put it on. He doesn't know what the hell to do. He's just holding it up. Put the damn shirt on. If you're giving a t-shirt, don't you just put the fucking thing on? What do you think?
Yeah,
he's holding the damn thing up.
Oddly, too, awkwardly.
Right. All right, Michaels finally comes to at that point, and he's confused, as he should be. Like, what the fuck's the deal? Why all of a sudden you on Austin's side? So he's like, hey, what are you doing? So Michaels starts poking Tyson, and Michaels goes to punch Tyson, and then Tyson just nails him with the right hand. Drops Michaels right in the middle of the ring. And then Tyson goes on to raise Austin's hand again, and there you have it. And then, as I said earlier, JR is going to try to put over Stone Cold University. So Tyson is a member of Stone Cold University.
Yep. Stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. You got confetti in the air, all that hoopla.
Everything else is good about it, but just that line, like, stop.
Stop the damn Stone Cold University bullshit. Yeah, well, that kind of concludes everything there. What do you got for a skull rating for this World Championship victory by Stone Cold?
It's tough because I didn't think the match itself was any good. I didn't think it was that great, but the moment is it's a 5-skull moment, but like a 3-skull match tops.
Yeah,
I think that's even generous. So, but I'm gonna give it 4 skulls.
Oh, all right. So I thought you were gonna go lower.
I wanted to, but this is it was a big deal.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same page with you. So yeah, 5-skull moment, but the match drops it down. To me, it dropped it down to a 3.5 skulls. You know, the match just the previous week against The Rock was half the amount of time, but it's actually even better. It's almost almost as good.
Yeah.
You know, but not for the World Championship. So I end up with a 3.5 skulls with this match. And as I said earlier in the breakdown of the match, is that this is a well-worked match, you know, given the limitations of both Austin and Michaels. But because it has a huge match feel, it's actually, you know, probably the best, along with the match you just had the previous week, that Austin's had since SummerSlam of '97.
Yep.
You know, Michaels working his ass off injured. And, you know, another bonus is Austin wins the championship in Boston. So, Title Town, baby. Our series of championships in Boston kick off with Stone Cold winning the World Championship.
Damn right.
So, yeah, good shit.
Working class champion for a working class city.
That's right. So Austin is our champion now, and we'll be heading into the rest of '98. Austin as the champ for a good portion of it. There are times when he doesn't have it and he gets it back, but you know, we'll be going through that over the course of the next few months in 1998. So let's wrap things up here and get into the house show rundown. On March 20th, 1998, you had Austin defeat Triple H in a non-title match in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then on March 21st, the following day, in Chicago, Illinois, Austin defeats Triple H again. And then on the following day again, March 22nd, 1998, in New York, at Madison Square Garden, Austin defeats Triple H. So just building up to Mania, you have a series of matches against Triple H. And then on March 26th was that Boston public workout at Faneuil Hall. Let's now move on to the oh hell yeah moment of the week, and this one is pretty obvious. Oh hell yeah! JV, what do you got?
Oh, I wonder. I wonder what it could be. I'm going to go with Stone Cold winning the WWF Championship for 2000.
For 2000? This is Jeopardy? Oh, yeah. Obviously. So,
yeah.
It's winning the championship. Can't beat that. I think what we need to incorporate going forward is the oh hell no moment. Since Vince McMahon.
Yeah, the shitty moment.
Yeah, we got to point out the shitty moment going forward. Because that could be different every week. So we could incorporate some shitty side notes into that.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So, yeah, next week, an oh hell no moment. And we can add Vince McMahon's oh hell no as the audio clip for that. Yep. All right, so upcoming on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast next week, we'll be covering April of '98. We'll be moving forward into the following month, the first month of Stone Cold's run. And it's going to kick off with Vince McMahon trying to control Stone Cold Steve Austin and mold him into some kind of corporate champion, which he's not going to go for. And a man from his past, a buddy of his, is going to end up siding with Vince McMahon. And that's Dude Love. So we're going to get Stone Cold versus Dude Love from Unforgiven next week. So that's going to be damn good because that's one of the better matches of 1998. Dude Love versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. But this Saturday, we're also going to present to you another watch-along, and that's the match that we just talked about. Austin versus HBK. Well, I enjoyed it. JV said he didn't really enjoy it that much. But it's still a great moment in history of Stone Cold, so we're going to cover it. And we want you to tune in and listen along, watch along to a classic match from Stone Cold from WrestleMania 14. So that's this Saturday, February 23rd. And again, next week, April 98, we'll be covering Unforgiven, Stone Cold versus Dude Love. All right, now I want to take a couple moments to give some plugs to our podcast buddies, our podcast pals. Get some alliteration there. Podcast pals. There we go. That's good. Podcast pals.
Better than Bodacious Bar.
Yeah. So I first want to give out a shout out to Talking Taker. They are breaking down the career of the dead man, The Undertaker, week by week throughout his entire career, starting from 1991 and up to this point. They're in November of 2001. They cover Undertaker just like we do here with Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're covering all the nit and the gritty of The Undertaker. And in November of 2001, it was Survivor Series, and it was Team WWF versus The Alliance. So they'll be covering that this week coming up. And I'm going to take a little moment to have you guys take a listen to Alex Dorio, the host of Talking Taker. So he's going to give you a little breakdown of what the show's like. So take a listen.
Dead man walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the dead man, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore The Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss The Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said take her easy.
All right, so don't forget to take a listen to Talking Taker with Alex and Travis. I also want to give a shout out to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast with Mike Mills, Doc Turner, and Hard Body Hopper. And they cover NWA, WCW from the 80s. They're currently in 1987. This week, they'll be covering November 7th, 1987, and they're building up to Starrcade 87, Ric Flair versus Rugged Ronnie Garvin. Hell of a main event. Nah. That was my Wayne Campbell. And on Sundays, they cover Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Hell of a territory from the mid-90s. And they are currently in 1994 of Smoky Mountain Wrestling coverage. It's July 30th, 1994, and it's episode 131. And as I said this previous week, the Gangstas are in the house in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, pissing off all the rednecks down there. So take a listen to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. And you can help us out by following us on Twitter, on Facebook, at Bottom Line Cast. You can also reach out to JV and I at MPRU83, that's me, Mike Prue, MPRU83 on Twitter. And JV at John Van Damage. You can also listen to us on whatever podcast platform you like. You know, the one you're probably listening to us right now, but if there's another one you prefer, we are on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, and Radio Public. And if you happen to listen to us on Radio Public, we might get 5 cents or something like that. So try Radio Public and let's see if this actually works. We might get a little bit of money. Probably doesn't work. Probably just a scam. But hey, give it a shot.
Hey, before you leave, hey!
JV, any final words before we go?
No final words this evening, Mike Prue.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Again, next week, check us out. Talking about Dude Love and Stone Cold Steve Austin from Unforgiven of April 98. And this Saturday is the watch along for this WrestleMania match. Austin versus HBK. Again, thanks for listening. So long.